I love that name. Thank you, Chamber. This is really a great honor. I'm really pleased to be able to accept this award. I want to be clear, I'm accepting this award on behalf of our entire team at the Yampa Valley Community Foundation. We have an incredible staff. They are highly committed, passionate, hardworking, smart. They are Jenny Campbell, Greg Hamilton, Tracy Hyatt, Karen O'Connor, Camille Sachs, our newest team member, Melanie Stewart, and Holly Wilson, and many of them are here tonight. So I also want to thank and acknowledge our board members who support all of our work and guide us and keep us out of trouble. There are a number of board members here and also past board members. Would you please raise your hands and be acknowledged? We could not do this work without our board sitting in the chair over here. Last year we granted out, you named correct numbers, but in total, $11 million to local nonprofit organizations. The engine behind that tidal wave of generosity comes from our very many, very generous donors who every day inspire us with their generosity. So many of whom are here, I want to thank those folks. We obviously couldn't do this work without them. And I also want to thank all the nonprofits. We're so lucky in this valley to have 100 active nonprofits, and they're each led by an individually unique and talented, as well as very scrappy leader like Meg and others here in the audience. I noticed that half of the 20 under 40 award winners work for local nonprofits or public service agencies. So let's give it up for our nonprofits. And lastly, most importantly, and most personally, I want to thank my partner in adventure for 40 years, my personal executive coach, my wife, Annie. Thank you, Annie, for everything. I want to talk a little bit about leadership. So some of you know that I spent about 27 years of my career in land conservation in Colorado and across the country. And I first got to know Steamboat in 2002 when a group of local citizens invited me up here to talk about a crazy idea that they had. They had been facing relentless pressure from the Colorado State Land Board to sell Emerald Mountain for luxury home development. This group formed to protect Emerald Mountain forever, protect its wildlife habitat and its public recreation opportunities. And together we hatched a plan to do that. We spent 5 years on advocacy, lots of mind-numbing federal and state bureaucracy, lots and lots of meetings and studies, and to everyone's surprise, we did it. And that fact has stuck with me for since. And so when Annie and I were thinking about leaving Denver 6 years ago and moving to the West Slope, Steamboat was very high on our list. To see a group of citizens come together and protect a local treasure and be successful was really powerful. At the Yampa Valley Community Foundation, our core purpose is to preserve the things that make this valley special, to preserve and enhance those things, as well as to ensure that everybody has access to those opportunities. I often ask people, why do you love being here? What do you love about living here in the Yampa Valley? And it's interesting, I hear the same thing, whether I'm talking to a fifth generation rancher or a newly relocated retiree. I hear the river that defines this valley and ties us all together. They love seeing children walking to school with parents. They love that locals still, usually, smile and say hello to strangers on the trail. They love that this beautiful landscape inspires artists of all kinds, musicians, painters, dancers, to share their talents locally. They also love that you can't really tell the welder from the rancher, from the doctor, from the teacher, from the miner, from the banker, based on the clothes they wear, the car they drive, or what they like to do with their free time. That is not to say that we don't have problems. We do. The costs of housing, childcare, transportation are squeezing out the very lifeblood of this community. And the stress of trying to make ends meet for people is leading to higher rates of mental health issues and substance abuse, higher than state national averages. So we have problems. A lot of people believe those problems are exacerbated by recent changes in the economy or growth. Change is natural, change is inevitable, but it can also be scary. And when you worry about losing something that you love, there's a tendency to kind of adopt a kind of unproductive cynicism about where you live. And that cynicism can often be directed at others who you believe don't share your values. I want to tell you a little bit about leadership and my own lessons in one lesson I've learned in my career. And that is about remaining hopeful in the face of change and in the face of cynicism. And I'm not talking about a blind optimism. I'm talking about a relentless positivity. The kind that I saw in that group of citizens who saved Emerald Mountain against all odds. And we did it again as a community in Casey's when we all saved Casey's Pond. So my belief is that through collaboration and a reliance on shared values, communities can do the unimaginable. And that's what I wanted to leave you with tonight. Thank you so much for this honor. Our team is really pleased to be honored. And again, as Meg said, we can't really do it without a community like this. So thank you all for all you do.